Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome into yet another stream from Flying with Mike. I want to thank you all for being a part of it. And rejoice in hope, folks. Be patient in tribulation. Be constant in prayer. It's what Paul told the Romans in chapter 12, verse 12. Folks, it's going to be a great day. We've rolled the clock back in so many ways. How many out there with a show of hands even knew this airline existed? Well, you should, because this was one of the airlines that would come together to make what was called U.S. Airways. And after becoming U.S. Airways, they were one of the regional carriers, those little puddle jumpers you love to fly out of Charlotte and all over the East Coast. They were one of them. Matter of fact, I think they gobbled up a couple of them, Allegheny and another one. But don't quote me on that. I think they did though. But anyway, this is an airline that helped make U.S. Airways, along with Allegheny, PSA. There's another one. I can't think of it. But anyway, they all came together, and that's what made U.S. Airways, who would eventually, after some more kind of strange moves, the name U.S. Airways would buy out American. Check it out if you don't believe me. But it's technically not U.S. Airways that bought it. Like I said, there's a little bit of witchcraft behind it. No, just kidding. But seriously, folks, there is a big story behind all of that, who actually did the buying and purchasing, but keeping certain names. So that's why you think U.S. Airways bought American. All right. So we're not even going to get into there, folks. You can look it up. It's out there on the internet. So, but Piers Piedmont, I really like this airline. I've always loved them. When I graduated high school, I have to say it that way, folks, being an Air Force brat. I graduated in Dayton, Ohio, a town called Beaver Creek out there. And this airline, Piedmont, was the star airline at the airport. They had a hub, quite a few gates too. It was kind of funny. They'd all come in, spoke in. A couple hours before everything opened up in there, including screening, they'd spoke in. They'd all leave, and everything would close back up. You couldn't get back down there until a couple hours before the next round. It was fun to watch. Oh, what a game that was. But anyway, they were a good, and I call them a great airline. It's a shame they had to merge into U.S. Airways like they did, but hey, that actually took them on to even bigger and better things. So, but today we've rolled the clock back to the era of Piedmont. We've also rolled it back to the star of the show, the 727 Whisper Jet Service, many airlines called it. I don't know where they got that. Somehow, some way, this was called a Whisper Jet, but yet you could tell it a mile away that it was in the area. And finally, we're in X-Plane 11. That's right. We're going back to X-Plane 11 to be able to fly this, because FlyJSim has yet to port it over to X-Plane 12. They're actually working on a new version, so I'm real excited. Can't wait to see what changes. I just hope the big change, that the TCAS system works without crashing to desktop. So, um, which they always claim they fixed, but yet everyone had to remove the folders to make it work. Wait, did I say that right? Remove the folders to make it work, but yet then it's gone. So how is it going to work? Anyway, for those of us to ponder. All right, so folks, there you have it. Like I said, 727 service today. We're in LaGuardia. Some call it the La Garbage Can. Yep, that's where we're flying out of. and we're headed down to Norfolk, Virginia. Not a long flight, but yet I think we'll have fun with it nonetheless. So let's crawl up into the cockpit area, some call the office, and let's get started. All right, this is a classic. Now, when I use the word classic, folks, this is one of the original airliners, one of the big ones. We're going to showcase one of the things this aircraft brought to aviation that is still in use today, just maybe not the same way. So, again, being a classic meant that it had to have three crew members. So you had your captain, your first officer, or pilot not flying, or the other guy in the other seat, and then the guy that ran the plane, the flight engineer. You all thought it was the captain. No, the flight engineer did it all from his panel here, which I suspect was bigger than this. Don't quote, folks. It's been too many years since I've been up in the cockpit of a 727. I don't remember it being this small. And when you look at it from this angle, without the jetway in the way, you would be looking from here to here. So I am thinking probably bigger. And I don't think there were any windows on this side of the door. So yeah, I think his station was a little bigger than shown here, but that's fine. It's flight sim, folks. We don't have to have it dead on. So, but anyway, we are sitting in LaGuardia. Those coming back from commercial, all we were going over, this was a classic. It does have a piece of equipment that this originated, this airframe, still in use today. And it's not the control wheels, folks. You still have the loose nut behind the wheel. Hate to break it to you, that'll never change. Nor the throttles, but we'll get into it. All right, so let's get into this plane, get it going. I like to try to get airborne a little early today. We'll see how that works out. All right, before we get this little page up here, you know what? Let's bring in some toolkit. If I can find it, there it is. And I am gonna, all right, so here's Sim Toolkit. Nice little picture of what Piedmont. Boy, folks, you just don't know. That was so cool with Piedmont here. And that's the big airplane we saw the most here. We didn't see 737s often here. The only time I ever really saw 737-200s, that was at Lambert when I worked at Scott. And then the 300s, I think, it hit the scene, maybe even up to the 400s. So really never saw the 200s. So I did see in the military with the T, whatever the heck it was called. But anyway, I digress. All right, so the morning storms that rocked me out of bed this morning here in St. Louis, or right here somewhere in the Ohio Valley. And we're expecting more later today. But here's our route, folks. La Garbage Can down to Norfolk. Yeah, we're having a little fun with people that told me that. LaGuardia. I'll be nice, you guys. I can just hear that's what it's called. No, it's called LaGuardia, not La Garbage Can. Sorry, folks, I can't do a good New York accent. You have to be a New Yorker to do that. Possibly Jersey, and oh, I just insulted New York. But anyway, so we're going from New York down to Norfolk. You can see our route. It's pretty simple. White to the Q409. Then we'll take the Parkway to TRPOD, to Jamie, to CC and to Norfolk, Virginia. Planning runway 23, but out of here we'll plan 13. Trying to get my accent ready for the Southern Virginiaites. All right, we're going to be on POSCON today, by the way, folks. So if you were expecting us to be on VATSIM, sorry, We are going to do this one on POSCON. All right, so what do we got here that's of value? Well, first off, let's look at the loadout. We got 20,000 pounds going in. That's 89 people plus just under 5,000 pounds of cargo. Again, the white Q409 tripod, direct Jamie, direct CCV, direct airport. Mach 80 and 30,000 is what we're going to head up to. All right, zero fuel weight will be 122,000 pounds. We're going to throw in the tanks about 18,000 pounds and cruise on down there at Mach 0.80. Would love to say Mach 80. Blink of an eye, poof, we're there. Hey, what would there be in flying then? Weather? I think the weather is actually pretty decent today. Um, Out on the East Coast, that is, not in the middle of the country, but on the East Coast. 30.01 for the pressure. Winds are variable, and the temperature is 21 degrees Celsius. So the mucklucks can come off because it's above 20. No, just kidding, folks. 69 is what, call it 70 is what it trims out to be in Fahrenheit. Um, and the dew point is 1, bone dry. Actually, not too bad. Actually, yeah, that's actually pretty dry. I take that back. All right, there's the METAR if you like reading. If you're METAR Save down there in Norfolk, you can see the winds are actually very much not favoring runway 23. So that may mean a runway change. We'll take a look at a little tool here in just a second. Pressure doesn't change much. Winds 050 at 7. It's actually 71 degrees there and a little bit more humidity. That's your dew point, folks. So no clouds, pretty decent, both ends of the spectrum. So can't really complain on the weather. Finally, let's head on down here. Here's that tool I'm talking about, D-ATIS or digital ATIS. And if you're curious how to get your pause on this as I reload my computer again, why is it constantly doing that? I do not know. Hang on a second. Here you go. So if you go to this link, this is the page that comes up. And that link, in case you're not seeing it in the chat, D-ATIS, that's Delta Alpha Tango India Sierra dot cloud. Think of a clown, drop the N, make it a D, .io. Okay, and that'll bring you to this page. Then all you do is select the facility. In our case, it's La Garbage Can, LaGuardia. And here is the actual ATIS transmitting as of 1651 Zulu. Pretty cool. Winds calm, we knew that. 10 miles visibility, broken. Now, this is different. We were scattered on the last one we saw. Does it matter? No. It's 25,000 feet, so I don't think that's going to prevent a takeoff. 19 degrees outside and a pressure of 30.04. What is important in an ATIS, if you're not familiar, ATIS stands for Airport Terminal Information Service. So basically what pilots will do as they get close to their destination airport, they'll tune in the frequency on their chart. Listen to the man speak every one of these words. LaGuardia information, ATIS information, Delta 1651 Zulu, winds 000 at 00 knots, so forth. Not my best computer voice, but you get the point because it sounds sometimes like a computer. But they're listening for this section that they're going to say right from here to here. ILS runway 22 in use. Land runway 22. Depart runway 33. That is what's in effect right now. Most of your VATSIM controllers will abide by this. There are those few that will tell the ATIS where to go and don't follow this. Now, there's more information in here that I'm pretty sure the man behind all of this lovely X-plane simulation we have knows this already. But in this section called NOTAMs, or however the airport phrases it, you find your runway conditions. So when it's raining, snowing, icing, doing something to make the runway contaminated with something, it's going to be right here, which tells you, do I need to adjust my braking action? So when I land, do I really want it on, put my passengers' faces in the seat in front of them, or do I want to back off a little bit? And if you're in the case of Southwest, do I want to add even more? Um, just kidding, Southwest, kind of, sort of. So basically here, go figure, use birds. By the way, if this airport sounds familiar to you, Sully took off from here before having to land on the other runway associated with LaGuardia at the Hudson River. So anyway, this is that airport. So, and the Class B service on here and so forth. So anyway, that's what this is all about. And that's what you can use this for, folks. Just like we're about to do this. Hey, let's see what's really going on down at Norfolk. I think they have it. I could be wrong, and I would say that I'm wrong. They are not on it. So we're going to have to pick it up en route. But I truly think we're not landing runway 23. Probably runway 5. But we'll see what the charts say and all of that. But this is the ATIS. For flight users, both real world and if you still use it here, because I know some do, I'm pretty sure this service is available to you on it. All right, finally, let's come over here to NavGraph. Yes, I've tagged a lot of stuff to Sim Toolkit here using this sprocket. It really does help. Shows you where my airplane is right from here. I can throw the weather, get an idea what's going on. I think so it's showing you there's those thunderstorms again. So again, it's a great tool, folks. It shows a lot of things, both charts and this. And um, hang on a second, folks. My wife is getting a call, so I have to take a break. All right. Preface, folks, those of you new, hey, I share an office with the CEO of Flying with Mike. So with her title, she gets priority. When she gets an office call, we got to pause. It's just the way it goes, folks. So just what I'm doing, you've been seeing in the background is using NavGraph charts. What I'm looking for is, are there any departures that might work for us? And I'm really liking this Nathan 5 assault transition. Really liking this one. Where's gold? No, no, I think I'm going to go with this one. Now, what it's going to do, it's going to populate it right to assault, and we'll join our route at assault on. So I think I am going to do that, but it gives you an idea of what do I have available to me. Unfortunately, I don't recommend using this for navigational use. Please make sure to read right here, not for navigational use in an airplane. Get for flight, basically, is what they're saying. Or a map. All right, so we can also view our SimBrief operational flight plan here, and here with this tab here. And it's just going to show you the data behind all that I read earlier. So earlier we said what our fuel was, what our passenger load was. It's been a while since I've used this format, so bear with me. Here's our alternate to Dulles, so and so forth. All right, folks, you can look at it here so you don't have to keep bouncing page to page. I've got it all set up for myself in Sim Toolkit. And here's that Sim Brief tab like I told you. All right, and then a neat tool that you can use is the skyvector.com, and basically just type in your departure, type in your arrival, boom. And it just basically allows me to see, weather real quick. You can put your route in here and it'll show it, but I use it so I can snap a um, BTAR real quick, as you can see, to what we need to change to. So we're still variable 3 knots, 10 miles, 25,000. So things aren't fully caught up in some systems. All right, so there you have it, folks. We're ready to go. Let's get rid of Sim Toolkit, and let's get ready to light this firecracker. What did I? Oh, I hit the wrong Sim Toolkit. Oh, I was like, what is going on here? All right, so 727, very simple plane, folks. Very easy to operate, easy to load. Everything about it, I say, is easy. Some people may say complicated. Let's get into it. All right, so we know our loadout. Hang on, I'm just getting that over here. Is 89 peeps. Well, right now, when I pop this up, we're at 69. What I'll do is click the R here a couple times for packs. Hey, there's 90. How do I like that loadout? I'm gonna put one more seat up there. Oh, wait. Sorry, I got to drop 2. There we go. All right, so now we're at 89. My bad. I went backwards, but then I adjusted anyway. All right, so we got 89 people. Our zero fuel weight is supposed to be 122, 226. Currently stands at 118, 70. So now let's put a piece of cargo in. It's going to go up to 119. It's 1,200 pounds each one, 1,250 to be exact. All right, and then you can watch your CG. So I'm going to put one here. Now we're up to 2,500, 120. Put another one in, and let's put another one in back here. We went right over by 1,000 pounds. So let's do this. 121.8. I'm going to go ahead and throw a soul on board. 122.50. I think we might be able to get away with keeping those people on board. I say we are. Okay, so we've actually got two more people than originally thought. So some of those standby people get to fly today. And at all times, you can see where your center of gravity is. See how it's showing you with the blue line? Of course, here's the center. You don't want to go past that. You don't want to go past that. We're pretty good. Now, let's work the fuel. Fuel is 17,622. Currently, we're at 25. So I just bring it down with all the tanks. Okay, we're at 16.8, 16.6. Oh, this could take a little bit. Oh, Lord. And that would help if I was hitting the right keys. Okay. 1710. 17,610. One more each. Actually, you know what? Let's do it this way. Perfect. Now we have 17,710 pounds. We are about 500 or so pounds over what's required. We're cool with that. Now we can do an optimal altitude of 36,000. Where's our optimal range? Trip distance 636 miles, folks. We're nowhere near that. And landing weight is good, and our zero fuel weight's good. So the aircraft's now loaded, and we don't have to do anything else about it, folks. It's done. Okay. Now, what I am going to do is pull up my chart. Add my command decision. Okay, and let's take a look at this RNAV real quick. I want to make sure it isn't like all of a sudden saying only turboprops allowed. All right, and for turbojet only, so we're good there. And strict compliance to track and altitude restrictions is mandatory. That is because you are flying in very close proximity to JFK and its approach routes, and you have to be grabbing some sky pretty quick because of that. You're going to fly right over the approach for one of the runways. Aircraft filed RBV, white ship, expect vectors after assault. Okay, and we are going to white. Is that actually on here? Wow, it is. Okay. And initial cruise is 5,000. I'm going to set, well, we'll set it to 5 to be good right now. We'll see how that works out. All right, we are set and ready to go, folks. Lastly, we just want to do a quick maintenance system check, and what we're going to do is check reports. Nothing to report means we're good for startup. All right, now you do have a checklist here. It's very basic. What I use is this one right here, and I have it opened up over here. Well, actually, I thought I did. That's what I get. I always get that for thinking, folks. Oh my goodness, where did I put it? Oh, that's just wonderful. Hang on a second, folks. I gotta track it down. Okay. Sorry about that. I thought I had it up already, but we'll show it to you here in a second. Let me get my screens reset. Okay, so I opened up a free utility. It's called AvTab, Aviators Tablet. I'm pretty sure there's probably a better version. However, if we hit the home key, go to charts, oops, it'll open up here. I'm using this one, folks. So our before start logbook's good. 3 gear pins are aboard. We're going to do our fire check and overheat check, start levers, and light test. Okay, and then I'm going to just let that go and work from it here. As soon as I get it all nicely situated. Okay, and click. I say click and click. There we go. All right, so here we go. So we need to do fire warning and overheat. Oh, there's a reason you didn't hear it. Okay, last fire check. All right, and now let's start our light bulb check, or actually overheat. Okay, coming down, cargo fire, good. There we go. Get that turned on. All right. Final, just going through here. Overheat checks. Now we'll do them over here. Gotta remember where the test buttons are. If there, I don't even think there are any. Okay, well then we're gonna go right into the light check. And folks, you just click the bulbs in your own way. You can also work, you know, like your test here for your cockpit voice recorder. And what you're doing is it's going to actually, if a bulb is not working, tell you and replace it. And GE, Sylvania, and all those companies that make light bulbs will be very happy. No, just kidding. I've got my navigation lights and logo lights on. I've also turned up some lights in the cockpit. All right, now we'll hit here, the main panel. And you're going to find some interesting areas for these lights. Let me show you a couple of them. Okay, each one of these. Here's some more. How about, would you have thought to check here? Found out about those when I tried going in a pushback. I'm sorry, power back. Plus, these I'm very familiar with. I've responded on numerous in-flight emergencies to landing gear issues. They already knew it was fine, but because the regulation in the Air Force said it, they had to declare it. They pulled the light bulb out of one, put it in, and oh my gosh, the light bulb lit up and the landing gear was actually down and locked. But it is, you know, that's how the Air Force and all work. Gotta be safe. So far, so good. We haven't come across any. You notice I'm checking even the ones that lit. Yes, they too have bit me every now and then. And now you see why GE and Sylvania and Philips and all of those light bulb companies are as rich and as powerful as they are. People like Boeing buying a lot of them for their planes. I'm not going to single out Boeing. They're getting singled out pretty hard right now. Airbus bought a bunch of them too. Lockheed in the day and all of them. I'm going to go ahead and turn on our boost pumps, because I always forget. So I figure, why not do it now? And then our final bulbs that I'm aware of to date. Hey, we found them all. All right, let's do our final light check here for all of our surfaces. Believe it or not, these are your flaps, spoilers, and slats. Okay, did I do the test here? If not, no, we didn't. All right. All right, so we got all those done. Let's get into fire this pup up. What do you say? All right, we got to do the FMC. That's our next check here, folks. Then the briefings. Yeah, you just noticed I can put it on an EFB next to me. And so forth. All right, so let's get over here and get our route put in. And I don't think I have one for this. No, I don't. Okay. But it's such an easy one. KORF flight number PAI-653, I believe is what we're flying today. Don't know. Yeah, 653. Okay, now when you do this, folks, that means you will have to put something in 2 before it'll let you go to the next page. So we'll just go here, departure, 13, nothings. Wait a minute, is it nothings that I decided upon? Yes. And execute flight plan. Okay, it did go to assault. Okay. Got me a little nervous. Sorry, folks. All right, then we're going from here, direct white. Just making sure, common spelling. I'll go with the one 49 miles away via the Q409. TRPOD. Okay, execute. That way we're for sure loaded. Now, after this, Jamie, and that is Juliet, Alpha, Mike, India, Echo. I always like to confirm my spellings. CC Victor. All right, I think that's it, because then we head into runway 23. So we have a couple of arrivals. Let's see, drone, and none of these will work for us. Okay, well, let's try runway. Switching myself to runway 5. Still none, just making sure. All right, so we're going to be coming in runway 5. Which, by the way, is that a legal runway for us? It is, okay. Yeah, let's see what kind of an approach we'd like to think about. We have an ILS. Oh, hey, you know what? Instead of me saying all of this stuff, let me bring it in. All right, so there's charts, folks, which is exactly what we saw in Sim Toolkit. Let's take a look at this. We got a couple of choices here. We've got the ILS. Okay, we all know that's pretty simple to fly. Actually, let's do it this way. Okay, I went back to our general flight page. This just tells us we're going from LaGuardia to Norfolk and Dulles as our alternate. Now, if we go to approaches available, select that, it's going to show them all to us. So we have an RNAV Yankee from Ombre, RNAV Zulu on final, and RNAV Yankee from Cali possible, and of course the ILS final. So those are our looks. So let's do this first. Why did it not show them first? Don't know. All right, so let's look at the ILS Yankee Ombre. I did not want to add it to the route. Dang it. What I wanted to do is this. There we go. So we can come into Ombre. Well, Cali is out here. So Ombre will take us, as you see, onto the final approach and in. Now that's actually looking pretty interesting. I think you'd all agree. Okay. Let's take a look at this Zulu. All right, so it's going to want us to do some weird things. So Zulu is out. And of course, here's the ILS Cali, straight in, looks like a 12-mile final. So it's a 12-mile final if we do Cali on the Yankee, or, which means we got to vector ourselves to it, or we do. I am going to go ahead and set up for the, I think we're going to go ahead and run Ombre. Okay, and we're going to back up with the ILS. Oh, we have a river visual. Hang on. Anytime we can. No, we're not flying that one. Was thinking it might be similar to the rivers into Reagan. Nope. It kind of is, but not by far. All right, so there you have it, folks. So what we've decided, so from CCV, there's TRPOD, there's Jamie, there's CCV. We're going to track it direct to Ombre, follow the RNAV, and come in on that. So that sounds like a fun run. So we'll go to arrival. We're not doing either of these. We're not going to do the ILS. We're going to do the 5 Yankee RNAV, Omri, execute, legs. All right, so let's take a look at this now, shall we? And folks, if you miss anything and want to go through, for instance, like right now we're in a break, I just put in the chat the YouTube channels, how to get on it, so you can watch this in its entirety. All right, so I'm just going to continue on. So, Nathan's is going to include Kiwi, out to Nathan's, Canarsie. Anyone ever heard of that one? Except it's actually a VOR. But anyway, this is an intersection, so it's not actually the same. But yeah, it could be, because you would take off and do this to get out of JFK. Out to Assault. Okay, so you see we're just going to come out at Kiwi, hang a right to 179, hang another right at Nason's, another right at Canarsie, straight out to Assault. We got to be above 2,500 in Kiwi, above 3,000 in Nathan's, above 5,000 by Canarsie, following the speed limits. All right, perfect. Sounds good, doesn't it? Okay, here's white. CVN. Okay, Vils. Next page. Ove, to Tripod, to Jamie, to CCV. Got a discontinuity. That's what we're looking for, folks. Go here, execute. If you do all of this on the ground, you lessen the chance of hurrying and ending up with the airplane doing a hook back to the last fix, because it's past it. All right, and that's where a lot of FMC problems come in. All right, so Omri, okay, hang on, let me pull it up. Okay, so we're going to come off Omri, Rilo, Murphy, Segley, Room, and then our runway. And then our missed approach is Techie out to Outlaw. And that's where we hold. Okay, so, and there they are. Perfect. All right, so we have everything loaded in. VNAV, that looks good. Next page is our cruise. We want to put in 30000. And we're ready to go, folks. Progress page, legs page. All right. And that, folks, is how we get flight plan. Now, bear with me. I'm going to set this up here for use later or during the actual takeoff. All right. All right, let's continue on. We've got the FMC programmed. All right, so now let's just go through them all. Passenger signs on. They're done boarding. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get us online with POSCON. And we are PAI. And ours is not coming up. That's fine. Go with PAI. I want to make sure I get this right. 653. Okay, we are connected now. Okay. Log in. It's KUSA PAI 653. Okay, and now see if it'll give it to us. All right, we got a squawk code. That is always good. So 1 1 6 4. All right, so we are now on POSCON, folks. And our CTAF is 18700. That is a new feature being done over at FlyJSim, but has been in play for a long time here at POSCON. All right, so we're on the CTAF frequency, and we're ready to go. All right, so continuing on, let's wrap this up. We'll use the short one here, APU ground power. We'll turn that on in a minute. Let's get up here to the top, finish our top checks. Okay, flight recorder's good. Coming down, one more check. RTO. Coming down, everything looks good. Last test, okay. Shield heat on. No heat stays off. Radios, radar, and transponder set. Parking brake set. Okay, let me just do one last check over here. Window heat, hydraulic pumps, A is off, B is on. A is off, B is showing on, lights off. Oh, you are 100% so right. I forgot to go. Thank you. Oil cooler, normal. Fuel, pumps on. Gasper fan on. On there. APU bleeds open. Auto brake RTO takeoff warning. Just move your throttle. And nav comms and all need to be set. All right, let's head over here and get them set. All right, looking at Sky Vector. Really don't have much to set down here, so let's set in case we come back. $113.10. Now this is a little screwy. And I'll explain to you. You're going to go, why are you setting it on 2 radios? All right. That's why. That is telling me I'm 1 mile from this VOR, but it's reading it from VOR2. I know, that is really weird. The HSI and all works just fine. It's the fact that you're coming off. This one reads off of 1. So that's why you got a quick reference here for your DME back. Granted, it's right there. So, you know, it's not a real bad loss, but yet it is a real bad loss. All right. So, yeah, it kind of makes it a little hairy-carry, if you will. Okay, so real quick here, I'm just updating. So climb heading 134. Okay, intercept to Kiwi. Y'all are going, I'm setting my radios. Set to 5,000. Okay, we got a cross at or above 2,500. Nathan's at or above 3,000. Canarsie at or above 5,000. Then on to assault. Okay, so we're set with the radios. This will be the only time I'll really put it up here. Parking brake, aileron, rudder trims are there. Okay, we're going to do our final checks here. It says cautious. There we go. All right, so let's do our takeoff. Okay, so we're flaps 20 with the current setup we have, 116, 116, 128. Here's our flap speeds and so forth. Set the bugs. Folks, we are ready to go. Our cleanup speed is 200. Cleanup altitude, I'd like to be clean by 3,000. We'll see. And our flight deck door is closed. So it's time to start up. APU first. All right. The topic I was going to talk about, folks, that's first with this aircraft. That is this unit right here. The APU on board was first to the 727s. Kind of a unique first in this as well. Just want to get our APU fired up, and then I'm going to ask the question, let you all think about it. Okay. Hang on a second. I just noticed something not hooked up yet. There we go. Okay, back to here. We're just going to close the one light. And we are now ready to go. So we're off. Let's set this to APU. Galley power off. Get our packs off. Get our pressure above 30. We're going to start this thing up. Okay. Beacon on. Packs are off, bleeds above 30. Let's get them started. Okay, the order we're going to start, folks, is engine number 3, then engine number 2, number 1, then number 2. All you got to do is click it on. What I do is get over here and make sure my valve opened, and then watch N2. Once it's above 20, fuel on. And our engine has stabilized, so let's get up here and crank up number uno. Again, just look over, you see start valves, number 1's lit. It's almost to 20, it is at 20, hang on, there we go, click. Here's your autopilot, by the way, folks. And stabilize. So we'll start up number 2. Now y'all are probably going, why are you starting this in stand? Lights on. We're going to power back. Even though there's plenty of room in front of the plane, I like powering back. All right, we have the engines all stable. Okay, let's come over here, close our lines up, go to gens, one at a time. As we bring the packs back online. Okay, Casper valve, and we'll get our heat on. Okay, you can see everything's ready to go here, folks. Okay, we'll get rid of that warning by just clicking here. All right, so after start, ignition's pitot heat. Start levers are idle, door lights are out, ground equipment is clear, anti-ice not required, and we'll do a yaw. Well, we aren't going to do. What we can do is a flight control check. Now, those of you with us yesterday with the 747, what I was talking about, we were talking about this gauge here. It's a great gauge. Don't get me wrong. Missing one very important component. But first, let's get over here and turn all our hydraulics on. Okay, pressures are up. Okay, I just want to make sure everything's set here. Okay, what's missing is the aileron. I'm going to do that one real quick here so you can see. Did you see a needle move? No. However, elevator. See, that works. Rudder. Aileron. Unless it's somewhere else and I haven't found it. I don't know. But anyway, there you go, folks. Flaps, 20. And no, we're not going to get the flaps 20. And then stabilizer trim. The neat thing about this, though, is you click here, it sets your trim to whatever was on the performance. In this case, sorry, that's not it, 5.35. That's kind of cool, for FlyJSim at least. Real world, of course, doesn't do that. And then verify your flap setting is 20, 20, and verify down here, 20. Okay, let's do it, folks. How about we on it? Well, we're going to get gigged a little. I'm going to start it with engines. Forgot to start this without the engines running. I got gigged a few points. Oh well. Try and make it up on a good landing. Alright, so here we go. And I'm going to set 400 for my... before I do a lot. Although I think I will be turning before then. Alright, let's do it, folks. Alright, so what I plan to do, folks, is kind of push back and face, well, we'll see. Okay, taxi checks. Yaw dampers, flight controls, flaps, stabilizer, galley power, verify on. And is on, packs are on. And electrical power, establish, hydraulics on, flight control, we'll take it to ramp, and we're ready to go. Let's go. Oh my gosh, no wonder these things go at their own way. There's no drivers in them. All right, folks, we're headed for the runway. Took much longer than I'd hoped. That's okay. All right, we're going to take Lima here. Get ourselves over to the right taxiway, the inner one or the outer one. Again, X-Plane 11, folks. They got pretty good scenery. Actually, I want to say, I think it got updated a little bit with 12. LaGuardia traffic, Piedmont 653. Departing runway 13, Nathan's 5. Now, in the real world, folks, most likely a 727 might be able to accept it, but hard to say if they would have had this back then, that quick turn like that. They probably would have had them go out and funnel around. I don't know, though. New York City, with everything so on top of each other, really hard to tell. Flight check. Okay, we are ready to go, folks. Piedmont 653 crossing 22. And Piedmont 653 clear of runway 22 or runway 3. All right, takeoff checks. Let's get this bird ready to go so we can roll right in and go. Number 1 for takeoff. There's something you don't hear much in LaGuardia. All right, flight attendants are ready. TCAS. TCAS is on. Stand by, folks. Down. And normal. Do the hold short. Get things all lined up. TCAS wing collision lights are coming on momentarily. Here they come. Lights. All right, let's do it, folks. Lights are on. CCD round off. Auto packs are armed. We're ready for takeoff. go. Roll them up. $80 knots.
80 knots.
Stick control.
E1. Rotate.
Gear up. Roger, cleared for flight level 300 Piedmont. 653. All right, folks, we're in the climb. Flaps are up. Let's do our final after takeoff stuff. Ignitions are on. Seatbelts and no smoking on. Landing gears up. Lights out and off. Auto pack. Act cutout. Which I don't understand that switch. Fuel is set and AC and pressure good. And we are good for the climb now. Now, I want to show off a little bit. Okay, so during the climb, we'll watch our pressurization, the oil cooler, and make make sure everything's like it should. Okay. Crew 9800, here we go, lights off, accept the enter, and okay, so we'll go back to vertical. And this is where I kind of like the 747, man. We got to accelerate now to 280. You can see what these settings are. Like right now, I want to set for about 1,000 foot a minute climb, yet I'm pretty close to even. Then once we get close, now I'm going to explain this in a second, but once we get close to where I've got it set with the caret here, I'll go to IAS hold. And the aircraft will then begin to do it itself. This aircraft, folks, does not have a quote auto throttle that you're used to. Correct? Right. All right, now we're headed direct. Basically, when you get into cruise, you, the pilot, flight engineer, whoever's designated, controls it by manipulating the throttles. So that means, folks, technically Category 3 approaches cannot be done in this. Cat 2 is a little iffy. Those are auto lands. Meaning the aircraft is controlling not only how you're doing vertically, navigate and laterally and vertically, but also your speed, keeping it constant, following it down to whatever you preset VREF to, chopping the power, and then all you have to do is kill the autopilot and put it in reverse thrust. You can't do that in this plane. You have to control the throttle. Okay, now, what's controlling the speed right now? Okay, the aircraft is commanded wherever that caret is, and you set IAS hold, it's going to do it by pitch. So it's going to raise the nose, lower the nose, but it's not moving the throttles. So once you get into cruise, you'll have to set the power settings and manipulate them in that way. So, like I said, we're first generation here, folks. Maybe we can call it second. But we're talking older technology here. You guys in your Pipers and your Cessnas, you know all too good and well. This lit up, folks, because altimeters don't sync here. There you have it, folks. We're on our way to flight level 300. Hope you enjoyed that. I know it took a little longer than I wanted, but we had some fun. That's all that matters. I am going to go ahead and try manipulating this thing called radar, because I forgot to turn it on. I may not be able to. Let's try from this way. There we go. All right, got the radar on. So now, is it going to maintain 2,000 feet a minute climb? No. It's going to maintain the pitch up or down to achieve 280 knots. Where do I get 280? That's this checklist. We've did all of these. We did all of these. Okay, so takeoff is 97% N1. That's this gauge, so it's pretty close to the red line. Climb, 92%, pretty close to that right now. And flaps up by 200. 10,000, we go to 280. Flight level 290, we will hold Mach 0.78. We're only going up to 30,000, folks, so guess what? Yeah, not that hard to figure out. All right, we're crossing white as we speak. Anyway, we'll go to Mach 0.80 and we'll hold it. Mach 0.80 being right up there. Not 350, folks. This will be down here. Watch it in the next 5,000 feet, how close we are to it. Let me get back in here. Oh, I'm with you there, DB. Looking so forward to this in X-Plane 12. I really hope the TCAS issue is fixed, but if it isn't, I'll fly it like this. Oh, man. Yeah. I didn't get X-Plane 10, but I'm flying it in X-Plane 11. So, and X-Plane 11 is still a great sim. Still, to me, better than what's out there on the dark side. But, you know, this plane is really, I mean, it's a true classic. I love the plane. And folks, you can get the SIVAs, you can purchase them and fly with them. I'm not, like you already know the tale, folks, of the SIVAs with me. So, we'll just keep going. But let me just take a look over here. We'll start closing up our... Even though you read the documentation, you go to the forums for the FlyJ, they say that is completely useless, that they don't really work. But yet, folks, if you keep the plane on to where... can't think what the term is, hypoxia is turned on, you're going to black out your screen if you're not careful with it. So, matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and close it. Now, I have that feature turned off because it really sometimes does and does not work. Okay, we're coming up to Mach 29,000. That means we should have these off. That was 18,000. There we go. All right, and now we should be at 0.78. We're pretty close. 0.78 would be about right there. We're at 7.6. We'll let the plane accelerate on up. And then we'll set the power as we get closer to 0.80. But yes, sir, great plane. Great plane, and X-Plane 12 supposed to get it here soon. So I get it with the FlyJ team. I understand it's tough when they're constantly updating, but I think they can do it. All right, we are leveling off. by the way, if I would have changed that, folks, in my climb to say 0.80, the aircraft will not respond. It will only respond to what you set it at. So now I'd have to go back to VS, back to, okay, so there's 0.80. I'm going to pull the power back. Let's go to 175. Now the flight factor 777 I am interested in. I've even thought about getting the A350. Pick a good power setting. And that's just it, folks. Pick a good power setting and see how it does. You know, we're still a little bit accelerating, so I'm going to keep pulling back till we start decelerating. Kind of like setting your mixture or leaning it out. You know, you watch your EGT when it starts going down, you start, you know, play with it till you get it to that sweet spot. All right, coming up the files, then Ove, not Oche, Ove. All right, folks, there you go. We are in cruise. And showing, I can't read it, 25 minutes to Norfolk. Welcome to Northeast U.S. flying, folks. Those things are pretty close. Matter of fact, we're still a little fast. There we go. All right, folks, there we go. We will start our top of descent here. Well, let's see if we can get those numbers. It's 79 miles. So you kind of see why I did all of that when I did. This thing's going to happen pretty quick. All right, there's 0.80, so we can give it a little bit of juice to pick back up so we don't slow too slow. Actually, you know, it's really the nice thing, DB, about the 727. They're like a bicycle. You really never forget. Now, granted, you forget maybe how to balance a little on the bicycle, but and pick it up real quick. A couple scrapes and you're good to go. But yeah, it's, I mean, I had stopped flying this pretty close to 6 months, maybe even to a year, and picked it right back up. I really, you know, it's a fun plane to fly. Okay, we're getting a little slow, so we'll give it a little bit more. All right, folks, who'd have thought in early March we'd be thinking about closing up the house from all this nice air, but it's actually in the mid-80s in our house. So So, yep, the air conditioner comes on. Oh, my dog is hilarious. Oh, you gotta love dogs. Sometimes they are just so amazingly funny. So, let's go ahead, see where we are again. The progress page. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and kick altitude hold on. Now, why I do that, folks, now I can set any altitudes I want to be at to start this. Let me take a look. Let's do this. I'm going to go ahead, bring up the chart again for our arrival. For those that may not have seen it in the beginning. All right. Make sure it's showing. It is. All right. Here's our arrival here, folks. Now, let me make it towards a little more readable. Okay, so we're going to come in at Ombre. Minimum altitude is 5,000 feet. So at or above 5,000. We're going to track to Rilo. Mandatory Murphy, 5,000 feet. And then we begin our descent. Come around to Chrome to 1,200 feet. MSL, by the way, above sea level, which, by the way, we're at sea level here. Then we track in and land. Pretty simple stuff. So Omri to Rilo at or above 5,000, but we'll plan Murphy at 5,000. Okay? Real quick, let you all look at the top here. ATIS, notice there's no D, so we can't look it up. We have to tune it in, and I don't know if it'll work or not. I haven't tried it. One other thing I didn't look up. We have a common traffic frequency here. .120.8. Okay, now I haven't switched back to our frequency here. And now we're set. All right. Finally, we're going to set 5,000. Actually, I'm going to set 10,000. You'll understand it. If you haven't, you'll figure it out pretty quick. We'll start our descent down. 5,000, we'll get the plane slowed to 250, if not slower, and then begin our descent down into 5,000. We only have about 19 miles from Omri to Murphy, so we'll be pretty close to it when we start in. All right, and let's find us here on the chart. Oh, yay, Ove is what we're over. And I've got us set for 10, off, and basically now, folks, it's a watch the VSI gauge, vertical speed indication. Want to keep it around 2,000. Perfect. And of course, that means we've got to watch our speed. And we'll set for about 290. So we'll power back a little here. It says top of descent 31 miles, so we'll keep, I think we're good with that. All right, folks, we are in our descent for Norfolk. Again, hope you all enjoy. If you do, hang on a second. Let me see what's in the chat real quick. Missed it. Okay. 75 in Lancaster. Well, we are just at about, we might be at about 75 here in St. Louis. We had thunderstorms earlier today, and we're expecting more tonight. Yeah, it's yeah, it will be. It's really cool. Here, let me show off a little something since I've still got it up here. Any weather in the area? Pretty sure we don't. Nope. There it is. That's what came through us this morning. Where are we here on the map? Trying to figure it out. That helps to go to the there's Johnstown, Harrisburg, Lancaster right there. So got a little time and a little bit of time for the mountains to bust them up. But yeah, they were rocking pretty good, and tonight they're expecting them to be maybe even a little more severe. So, but that was the line this morning through our area. All right, so we're in the descent. So shoulder harnesses should be secured. So make sure you don't get out of your seats now, folks. Anti-ice, we don't need it. Ignitions are still on. Altimeters will set at 18,000 feet. All right, and just doing a real quick setup here in case I decide to bring it back. Alrighty. Speaking of which, Norfolk, as of an hour and 9 minutes ago, was 30:03. Okay, 112.2. Okay. All right, so I'm set up so I have an idea where our airport is when I get a little closer. We've got to still get down to transition level, which is just about 1,000 feet away. However, we're 65 miles, I believe, from CCV. So got some time, but that's about where we should be under 10,000 feet. As we kind of parallel the Atlantic on one side, the Chesapeake Bay on the other. So all right, here comes the numbers 30. Okay, and all warnings are out. How about we do this? Aha, you guys catch it? I forgot to hit altitude select. You don't see the light here, folks. She will descend right through it. So, yeah, we forgot again. Okay, we are planning runway 5 now. As of 12 minutes ago, it is actually 3001. Get that all set up. Okay, and let's go ahead and get our inboard lights on. And I'm going to try to set this. Probably won't. I'll be doggone it. Made me a little bit of a liar. Okay. Yeah, usually, and I don't know what it takes to get this speed bug to work right, won't let me go below 250 or where the Mach numbers are coming out. Today it is. I don't know what I did different. That is a very distinct sound, folks. The JT9s. Very distinct. Oh, speaking of which, what's our minimums? 324. Go 350, so we need at least an RVR of 26 or 5/8 of a mile. 350 for MSL, 324 AGL. Otherwise, we look at the ILS, we look at several things. Minimums on the ILS are 200.5, so that's. And like I said, I do plan to back it up just so I have some views, but I may be able to do this almost visually. All right, CCV. All right, folks, I've been a little remiss here, but, you know, that is so true. Yeah, the 747-200 panel, I would expect to be a lot bigger than the one on here. But the one on here, I think, is still smaller than the real 727. I think there's still more to come. Oh, I know why. There we go. Yeah, I put a space. Too many spaces in there. All right, let's start the speed brakes. All right, now let me see what we got to get down to. 5,000 in 30, about 40 miles, so we can take our time a little bit here. Hold. Thinking Jamie, I'll start the descent to 5,000. All right, folks, I hope you've enjoyed flying with Mike today. Retro X-Plane 11. We're flying for Piedmont in the 80s. They're now more of a puddle jump for American slash was U.S. Airways. They were part that became U.S. Airways. And then U.S. Airways, after some, like I said, check it out, folks, some other things would lead on to buy out American. But there's more to the story. I'll leave that for you. Little homework assignment while I'm at work. Also, besides the fact we're in a 727, we're in X-Plane 12, we're in Piedmont. This is a Retro T-Tail Thursday. So, hope you're enjoying it. We're preparing for the RNAV. Never would be flown in a 727. Well, I guess it could, but good chances it wouldn't have. Into Norfolk, we would have vectored around for the ILS. But, you know, what the heck, let's have some fun. Why not? Why not? We're in a sim. There's not real people behind us. There's actually nothing behind us. That's one of the downsides to the FlyJSim's 727. They didn't put anything behind the door. So, that's okay, though. We'll improvise. I'll shout. Here's Jamie, and we're going to begin our descent now to 5,000. Let's do it like I have been. All right, what I do here, folks, we'll set it to vertical speed, which it already is, and we'll just start inching it down. Watch our VSI, watch our speed, and I'm going to set up about 1,000 foot a minute descent, maybe slightly more. Now to 747, this would be real easy because it'd be marked. It's not so here, you got to kind of watch it. Okay. We're going to do it at about 240, so I'm going to pull some power back. Again, we're not coming down hard like we usually do at 2,300 or more feet a minute. We're going to kind of ease it on down the road here and bring it down. Still pretty much flying the Chesapeake Bay on one side, the Atlantic on the other, and work our way now into Norfolk. CCV is now 12 miles ahead of us. It's a VOR right at the end of this, I'll call it a peninsula, but then we cross the bay and begin setting up for runway 5 at Norfolk. It looks like we're going to need some speed brakes even at this. So, but again, beautiful 727. They did a great job, other than they don't have a cabin for it, and there is a problem with the TCAS. If you are crashing to desktop, which I know I was, Even after updates, they put the folder back in, folks. Go in, take out the XTCAS folder for plugins inside each of your 727s, and you'll be good to go. We'll kind of showcase that out. I'll try to remember when we get on the grid. All right, there you go. A nice shot out the nose. Looks like we're going to hang at 5,000 for most of the approach. All right, speaking of approach, let me work the checklist a little more. All right, minimums, target. Let's get our target speeds figured out. Okay, switch to landing. We're going to land flaps 3, 124 for our VREF. Set the bugs. What else did I forget, folks? You got it. I forgot to smash altitude select. Just happened to look up and not see yellow. Folks, you really got to remember that on these planes. If you don't, that's what ends up being a problem. You end up low. I did that on a group flight we did into Geneva a couple of years ago. Oh, almost hit the mountain. So yeah, definitely make sure when you're doing descents you see the altitude select here. All right. Okay, real quick, altimeters are set, radio, radar altimeter set. Flight instruments set, hydraulic pressures and quantities are normal, plus the cooling doors for the pressurization system are closed, or open, I think it is actually. Yeah, open. All right, so we are now level at 5,000 feet. We are direct Omri. So here we go, folks. We are starting to get into the land of Norfolk. Okay, there's Right, I am going to begin slowing to approach into what I call my approach speed of 220 until we get to Rilo, Murphy area, and then I'm going to begin slowing for flap speeds. All right, folks, let me make sure we're set up on comm. 2800, let me double check that, make sure it's correct. CTAF 2800. All right, here we go, folks. Common traffic advisory frequency. Those of you now on FlyJSim are in the VAT USA area. They want you on common traffic when you're in areas. So you're off the 122.8, unless, of course, that is the common traffic. All right, pull that back. Norfolk traffic, Piedmont 653, Rilo for runway 5 on the RNAV Yankee runway 5. All right, we're going to begin looking for the runway. That could be the airport right there. Now, Murphy will be where we make that turn. Okay, so we're coming down to 220 at Rilo, and folks, we are about to begin our approach. Okay, first flag here is our first notch of flaps. This is our approach VREF. See if we can't nail this landing. Or give it our best. Actually, I think right here could be it. Let's see, how's that? Chart's hard to tell. But I think that might be it. There's Norfolk right there. I see a terminal. Okay, so that's what we're shooting for, folks. Next altitude setting is 1200. Make that turn, folks. I plan to start, there we go. Start to descend, slow us down. We are rolling. Okay, folks, here we go. That's a little too steep. Well, I just lined up on the Navy station.
1,000. Sink rate. Sink rate. Pull up. Sink rate.
All right, we're going to go ahead, call it stable and landing.
300. Sink rate. Pull up. Pull up. Sink rate. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
I forgot to set the auto brakes. Now that ended up being a somewhat decent recovery, even though probably a go-around should have been called. We made it though, folks. That's all that matters in the flight sim world. And Norfolk traffic, Piedmont 653, taxi to the gates clear, runway 5. Alright, so let's see. We'll park up in Concourse B. That's that one sticking out. Gives us a little chance to get everything tidied up here. Oh, let's see here. After landing, fuel pumps. Okay, everything's good. Let's get up here, turn the galley power off. I didn't really pay attention to what we landed at, folks, so pardon me for that. We'll look at it though upon DB Vetter 200 feet a minute. I do see that you won. thing with that landing that was bothering me, besides the fact I was high and the fact I lined up with the wrong airplane, is it kept holding at 120. And it makes it very hard, obviously, to control. Okay. Oh, I don't think we have an AP generator. Yeah, I just saw Peg. Oh, so right. Alright, we're gonna have maintenance come out and look at the bird. Alright, so let's do this. Tail strike detected. We strike it at? Let's find out. Alright, okay, we're in the blocks. Let's see. Okay, Americans got me a lot worse. All right, hang on a second here, folks. I'm just checking a couple things out. That's weird. They got us at 432. Wonder why. Huh. Well, we're going to take a look at it, hopefully. So hang on a second here as we take a look at this via Sim Toolkit first, and then head out to the ramp and see what really happened. All right, first thing we got to do before I even go any further, get off. Get off your ATC, whatever you're on, folks. You want to make sure to disconnect. Reason being, if you don't, it will. In this case, it will what's called ghost you. All right, so let's acknowledge it's not running. Okay, I've been disconnected. Okay, and Okay, good deal. All right, let me close out our checklists and look for anything else that could cause problems. All right, let's, hang on, I'm just gonna unload. Okay, let's see what we did. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the gate away. Okay, I'm at the airport here. All right, let's take a look now. I'm kind of curious where this tail strike happened. I think I found it. Right there, folks. All right, well, I do see where the tail strike probably happened, right about there.
Up. Sink rate. 50, 10.
Overall, though, not a bad flight, folks. This was fun, enjoyed it all. Let's see how it looked from the tower. Yeah, it's real close. Yeah, we over-flared a little bit, so that's probably why. All right, again, that is why I like X-Plane. Have these tools by default. You don't have to go out and look for them, then install them, and then start and stop it where you want. So here, I can go all the way back to the beginning. Yeah, there's the tail strike. All right, so we did have a tail strike on this one. Folks, I want to thank you for being a part of Flying with Mike today. It has been spectacular. If you're new to the channel, smash that follow button. We want to see you on our next flights. Which I right now don't know when the next one is. I'm pretty sure that I can, with confidence, not 100% confidence, but with a pretty good chance of saying we're gonna fly out of where's my schedule? There it is. On Wednesday the 20th next, out of Castle Wyoming to Billings, Montana at FedEx. What we'll fly with FedEx, that is yet to be determined. We could fly Tuesday, but I'm leaving that as an open date because my Monday I have 5 flights. That could be a living nightmare. So hopefully it won't be, and we'll be able to get a flight in. Otherwise, because of working overtime next week, that's about the only days I can fly. So, folks, I do want to thank you though for today. I want to thank you for your time taking it out for us. Really does mean a lot to us here at Flying. Thank you, DB Vetter, for being a part out there in our chat room. Appreciate you coming along, and look forward to seeing you on future flights. Folks, hope to see you next Wednesday, I believe it was, I said. Till then, you all be safe over the weekend. God bless you all. We'll see you then. Good night and God bless.